Vermont. If I can talk this morning, welcome to Vermont Sun and Shade. I found the cutest little article. Birds in Bloom sends the cutest little articles to me in my email, and I wanted to share it with you because it's so festive for the holidays. And but first, I want to say I hope everybody got through the cold spell that we had. I mean, it was, in the negatives. Today it is warming up to like 20, 25. So that's significantly warmer than the -5 and 5 degrees that we were feeling here and that we had. So, yeah, we are very close to Christmas, and as I understand it, it's warming up a little bit between now and New Year, so that's really, really good. Considering, people are trying to get out and get errands done and get things done. So, with that, this article is by Birds in Bloom. And you can get these articles if you subscribe to them. Now, I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, but it is nice to get them in your email. So, basically, um, it says, this is the title. It says, Meet the Festive Flock of Birds in the 12 Days of Christmas. And the article is by Emily Hanneman. Hanneman, I think is how they pronounce it. And it's as of December 6th. And I guess it was written in 2022. It was updated on 2022. In 2022. Okay. So the first one is, yes, the partridge in a pear. That is what a partridge looks like. For those of you who are not familiar, they have the really short, stubby kind of a feathered tail there. And let's see. Okay, so the card doesn't tell us which kind of partridge perched in the tree, but in North America, there is what they call the gray partridge. And these are stout gray feathered Christmas Carol birds that have rusty coloring on their faces and brown tipped wing feathers. And they prefer to dine on seeds, and they're usually found in the grasslands. So that is the gray partridge. So I guess they're going according, to the song. So we have these outside the door too. Is 2 turtle doves. There's the doves. Doves, I have seen them have coloring with from beige to white to darker brown to they're very pretty, and they do have speckles on their wings. So these birds, um, so it says in the song they refer to European turtle dove. It's a relative of the pigeon and the mourning dove. I used to, many years ago, over 20 years ago now, I had mourning doves, and they were white, and they would coo, like that very gentle, beautiful sound. So they make their home in the forests and the woodlands in southern United Kingdom. And it's not hard to see why they're merit inclusion in a carol. They're lovely birds with orange edging on their wings and dark accent on their necks. Yeah, they do have, I forgot about that. They do have, even the white ones will have a dark accent, a ring around their neck. Sadly, they're considered one of the most at-risk bird species in the United Kingdom, or they're talking about the United Kingdom, but their numbers have declined from 93% since the 1970s. So this bird, because I had the white mourning dove, I didn't have a wild dove. There must be all different color doves depending on the region. There must be. But the makeup is the exact same as these doves. And they were so gentle. You could see why they wouldn't survive in the wild. the really, in my opinion, easily a domesticated bird. Um, so, and then three French hens. This is what the French hens look like. Okay, and so let's see. They're talking about the song here. French hens were considered a delicacy, according to the song that was written in 1780. And that's all they're saying here, really, on this, is basically French hens. They're talking about chickens. So, um, okay, so the next one is the calling birds. And so, yeah, the calling birds. Um, the written word upon the carol's composure was four collie, Cally, birds. What the heck is a collie bird? At the time, a collie bird referred to as the blackbird or thrush, or even a regular old song bird. So this to me looks like what I would call the red-winged blackbird. And so they're calling it in this article, and I guess the article is written in the UK. So they have different names for some of the birds, but they're calling this the blackbird. So to me, that's the red-winged blackbird. This is a lovely, lovely, beautiful bird, and according to the song, 5 golden rings. So there's a dual interpretation to the fifth gift. Some believe 5 gold rings were literally, 5 rings made of gold, while others think it refers to the feathers around the ring-necked pheasants. And this is a pheasant. Is that just lovely? Isn't that beautiful? The pheasant. So the next one in the song is 6 geese are laying. So here's the geese. They're showing you the geese. And so what they're talking about here with the geese is many types of geese exist in North America, both wild and domestic. But while considering the subgroup, it's hard not to think of the Canadian geese. You'd be hard-pressed to escape their trumpet-like honking as they migrate south for the winter and then back up in the spring. We had geese leaving Canada as early as last month, as late as last month. Well, hello, Mia Mashuki. That's my bird singing to the birds on the TV. So, okay. So the next one is the swans are swimming. So there's a beautiful picture of the swan. And it says here that of the birds referenced in the 12 Days of Christmas, this group is perhaps the most straightforward. Most birders have the knowledge of swans, having either had the fortune of seeing them in real life or hearing of the romantic associations they carry. Their elegance and grace would have made a cherished present to include in the song and recommend gifting a swan. So that's really interesting about the 12 Days of Christmas. So to be honest, I never really thought about the birds quite like they're talking, like, like that as gifts. I guess that's it. 7. They don't seem to have. Let me look on my other article here. They go to 7. Yeah, and that's it, because those are the birds that they refer to in the song. So I thought you'd enjoy that little article. I just wanted to jump on here quickly and share that with you. And just say, yeah, the code spell here in Vermont, if you are from Vermont, or you're not from Vermont, and you're heading up through, you're going to travel through, they're just saying the code spell that we've had for the past since the beginning of December, is alleviated a little bit for until January. That's what they're saying. So, but I would keep a close eye on the weather because they are also talking about um, some rain coming and maybe freezing. Let me see if I got anything else from Birds and Blooms here. They sent me an article that I really don't even want to share this. I seriously don't. It says 6 deer resistant shrubs to grow. I I can't see right now where we're overrun with deer. And as a matter of fact, I think the wildlife have most difficulty right now finding the shrubs that they need to eat on and feed on. So I don't know why they're promoting that. Maybe you don't want deer in your backyard. Is that the reason possibly? I mean, I guess that's it. But I personally um, have not seen, and I thought I would see lots of them up in the Northeast Kingdom here. I haven't seen one. I've always seen them in the central Vermont. Um, so let's see here. This is interesting. Just for those of you who feed birds, like I do, I want to read this. How often do you clean the bird feeders? So you're feeding your birds, and right now I've been feeding them extra because of the freezing cold. Today I'm not in such a rush to run out there because I can see there's still a little food and it's going up to 25 degrees. And so this is an article again by Birds in Bloom, and it is by Jill Stack, Staake, written in 2022. And it says, follow these tips for maintaining your seed and suet feeders. Let's see what the tips are. Scrub, rinse, and repeat. So if you have feeders like this, scrub, rinse, and repeat. And she's saying remove, any debris and stuff that's in there. And she says, dilute the cleaners that you're using, 10% bleach with 1 part of water, and a stiff brush. Okay, and then and make sure, or a solution of 1 part vinegar and 2 parts water. That's what I would use, is the vinegar and water. And alternatively, use the hottest water possible. Either way, rinse it well, and when you're done scrubbing, let it dry. Okay, so they give us 10 types of bird feeders, and let's check these out. I always find this interesting because the when you go to the store looking for a bird feeder, a lot of times you'll see just a couple. So this is going to give us 10 different types. So this is the suet feeder with the little cage. Okay. I have a bird feeder I gifted my neighbors with when I moved up here, and it has a cage on either side of it, and then it has the little platform in between. So this is really interesting. Check this bird feeder out, guys. Is that just lovely? Look at that. That's a wreath with all the bird seed in it. This one I wouldn't, personally, I don't care for this one. And I'm going to tell you why right now. These right here, these little kind of caged barbs, bars, teeny tiny little birds can get their necks caught. They could get. I watch my little finches jumping around in there and swirling around and on their swings and whatnot. And I would not put something like that. I just personally wouldn't put something like that out there. That is called an Oreo fruit feeder. So I could see it with the cup, yes, but this part of it I'd be super careful with. Um, the next one is sugar water feeder, of course, for the hummingbirds. And this one is just your tube bird feeder. That's very common. This is Nyler finch feeder. So for the wild finches, because they're so tiny, they'll be picking right out of through the cage. And try a platform feeder. So I have one that's like a platform feeder, only has a little roof to it. And this is a hopper bird feeder. The classic hopper feeder is usually covered with a roof and enclosed on all four sides. That's where you just fill the whole thing up and then the seeds come down through. I've had that too. This is a log feeder. I really love that idea. It's actually a log. And this is a mealworm bluebird feeder. It looks like it might be glass. Look how pretty that is. You know, if you know someone who loves birds, this is a really good idea to, okay, so I'm going to go share that on another platform, and I'm just so grateful to be here with you today. Thank you so much, and I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Love and light.